Hello peeps, how are we all doing? Yep, just left work, stopped at the garage for a drink, realised that I was recording but wasn't recording any sound, so my recent vlog has just been a total waste of time, but probably a waste of time anyway because we're talking absolute nonsense. Yeah, just left work, called at the East Lancashire Mining Museum just to have a quick look round. I'll probably put the video of that little bit up, but maybe I can do a bit of a voiceover on it or something. I could do it now, couldn't I? Yeah, there is the winding engine. Anyway, you probably wonder what I'm rabbiting on about. Yeah, finished work. I'm opposite where I work. The East Lancashire Mining Museum is. We've got well, they've got the largest pit winding engine in Europe. I think it's one of two. I think there was a sister one built, was sent to Europe somewhere, I'm not sure what country, but there's definitely two of them built. And yeah, like I say, it's the largest working. Don't work off steam, works off compressed air, which is a shame, but they're trying to get a budget to get the boiler in place and obviously get it running again back to its former glory, running off steam. But it runs off compressed air, even though it only winds pretty slowly. I think when it was in full flow it was winding coal, I don't know, 4 or 5 mile an hour. It'd be winding coal up. There were massive big pit headgear there, and they filmed Peaky Blinders, quite a couple of scenes of Peaky Blinders there, this latest series. Quite an interesting place if anyone fancies a visit. Like I say, I'll stick that bit of a clip up of it, try and maybe stick on the end of this video or something, but the rest of the video is pointless. It's just me riding round and there'll be no audio whatsoever. You won't even be able to hear the bike or anything, there'll just be zero audio. So yeah, we're on our way home anyway, just gonna go the long way around. Seems it's a nice day. Stopped at the garage, got a drink, some Lucozade. Been on a diet all week, I've been drinking water after water after water, so I'm sick of water. Need to get my fat ass on a diet or I'll be buying a new jacket. I'm saying that, I have actually bought a new jacket. And it's actually slightly smaller than this one, so got to get my fat ass into it somehow. Bought an RST TT Classic leather jacket, like a retro one. Nice jacket, really nice. Really soft leather. So, I mean, this is a nice jacket, but I don't know, for this weather, even with the lining and the zippers open, it just seems a bit too much, a bit heavy. I know the leather jacket's going to be warm, but I'm hoping it's a bit lighter, if you know what I mean. So yeah, not been up to much really, not uploaded much. Too much working and not enough play as usual, which is probably going to continue to the end of the year. So this summer's probably just going to be, even though it's probably the best start to the summer we've had in, fucking hell, 20 years, 25 years, I don't know. Long may it continue, but I won't be getting a hell of a lot of biking done. Planning a Scotland trip, if it comes off in September. One of my mates, he's only recently passed, so he needs to get a few miles under his belt, and he's in the same boat as me, working 6 days a week, and the 1 day a week that you're off, or the day and a half actually that we spend at home because we work away, you can't really turn around to your missus and the kids who've not seen you all week and say, I'm going spending half a day on my bike. So you just got to grab little bits of time like this, which I find easier than he does. He finds it more difficult to grab half an hour here and there on the way home from work, because, well, I mean, he's got a bigger commute than me anyway. Probably does take him half an hour home, but it's just motorway. Where I could vary my route home quite a bit. But yeah, he does need to sort of like get a few hours under his belt if he's to do this Scotland trip together, because it's the, is it the North Coast 5 something, I don't know, it's 500 odd miles in it, I think. Or is there 6 one somewhere? I don't know which one it is actually, but they covered it in Motorcycle News a few months ago, and it's from, obviously from like the Glasgow area, but that west side of Scotland, you know, up to sort of like past Liverpool, right up to the Furo, is it, on the coast there, then across, obviously Doomray, and across to, so I'm just thinking which way to go. Oh, we'll go straight on, sorry. Yeah, sort of like Doomray to John O'Groats, and obviously coming down Inverness and down the other side all the way down to Edinburgh, then probably A1, 66, M6 back home. Hoping to go on a Friday, early Friday, get sorted out, get finished early Friday, leave about midday, get up, possibly, I don't really know what area we'll get up to really, but I won't get Fort William, I'll be too far, but maybe somewhere between Glasgow and Fort William. We'll have to have a look, but somewhere around there, stop there, then get a big chunk, get from there then round, have to get a third chunk of it done then Saturday, get round the other side, get round towards past Wick, maybe round to Inverness, and then Sunday down and back home, because we've only got the weekend. I mean, they give themselves 2 days to do it there on the what's it, which seems a lot of riding that for 2 days, but it is what it is. Ideally 3 days, I reckon. I reckon ideally you're better off for 3 days at it, but we'll give it a go. Try and do it in sort of like 2.5. All day Saturday, all day Sunday, half a day Friday. I can piss it. Hopefully it comes off and we get to do that. That'll probably be the only really bit of riding get done this year, apart from the commutes and maybe the odd few hours out here and there. It's a shame really, because we're wasting this really nice summer that we're having so far, but work comes first, family and shit comes before play at the moment. Try and get over there and get home for about 4:30. Do 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 do. Just so busy on a Friday, innit? Anywhere you want to go Friday afternoon, just gets so busy. Early Sunday mornings, I enjoy my early Sunday morning rides out, they're the best ones. Nice and quiet, road to yourself. But yeah, has anyone done that? Okay, what's it called now? North Coast 5. I think there's definitely a North Coast like 500, but I'm sure this is more. I'm sure there's a little bit more because you like do a little bit more coastal. You sort of go right out on all the little peninsulas, and then obviously you got Johnny Groats as well. I think it adds a few more miles on. I think so anyway. I'll have to look at it again. Been a few months actually since we said we were going to do it, but I've not really looked at the route or thought about it because I don't know. Sort of have this feeling it's not going to happen. Just purely because time on the bike. He definitely needs time on the bike. I suppose he'll get time on the bike going up there doing that, but you know what I mean, we need to be sort of like cracking on a bit to get it done. Getting up there fair enough straight up the M6 is great, but what we need really is not to be sort of like dawdling about once we're up there, giving ourselves the 2 days to sort of do the mileage round there. You know, and obviously there'll be stops, this, that and the other. You know, you're probably going to end up doing maybe 10-hour stints, or not obviously 10 hours, but I reckon we'll have to be 10 hours at it. It won't be 10 hours on the bike because you'll be stopping for breaks and fuel stops and photographs and this, that and the other, but I reckon we'll be out on the bikes for 10 hours both days, so quite a bit of a stint, isn't it, for somebody who's new to riding and not had that time in the saddle. But you certainly get that time in the saddle on it. You know, I'm fairly new to riding, but a couple of years under my belt, it's a bit different, isn't it? So having a few months under your belt and not really having got out and done any sort of riding. But we'll give it a go. We can only fail and head straight back. Defeated. The jocks have defeated us Englishmen. That don't happen very often, does it? No, let's not get political. I love the Scotch, they're brilliant. I think we've got a fucking beautiful country. I think they're good people. I'd rather live up there, well, maybe not Glasgow, but you know what I mean, I'd rather live up Fort William, Aberdeen, Inverness, Wick, or, you know, anywhere, Liverpool, even some of the Watsits, some of the islands. Did a delivery once to, what's it called, the hell, can't think of it. It's the Isle of Lewis, but what was the town called? Come on, brain, help me out. I'm sure, I mean really, I'm sure I'm suffering with some sort of like Alzheimer's or something. Stornoway, that was the one. Yeah, the delivery to Stornoway is literally, you come off the, we went up to Liverpool, I got up to Perth, collected the load Monday morning. It was quite a late collection, collected it, got up to Perth, stopped at Perth, 8 o'clock out to be in Liverpool, got into Liverpool, little dock, Liverpool, little sort of like booking in office and all that, parked my truck up, booked in, waited for the boat to come in, it offloaded, then they loaded us on. I was like pretty much one of the first to get on it, being an articulated lorry. They wanted to get me on it first, and then cram me in with everything they could. They got me on it, squoze me on it, we went over, the crossing was alright, but 2 hours 45 minutes, but it was alright. I'm not the best on boats, I'll be honest with you. But no problems, brilliant, really enjoyed it. Come off the boat the other side, it was literally 2.5 kilometres off the boat the other side to a Tesco. It was a load of insulation panels. Delivered them, but basically that boat tips, reloads, back across. So there was no chance I was getting back on it. I probably could have got back on it if they'd but you never know, you see, you never know what happens when you get to your drop, and then it's sort of like you're delayed for like 2 or 3 hours unloading. But no, we're like 3 or 4 lifts off with these insulation panels, only a small Tesco. And it was just for, obviously, for the like, not the ambient, the chilled part of the store that they were building. So I dropped off these insulation panels, and they went and parked in the town behind like a big garage that sold absolutely everything. Petrol station sold everything, anything you could ever want. I mean, literally it did sell all sorts of shite. So went in there, got the bits that I needed from there, and then went back to my truck really. Spent a few, because it was early, a couple of hours just sort of like chilling out in my truck. Went for a walk on the beach, but it really started to get windy. I think it was somewhere around like March time or something, a few years ago. Really started to get windy, to the point where you like literally stood on this beach and it was just unbearable. The wind was that strong. So didn't really stay there that long. Had a walk into town, had something to eat, couple of pints, bit of a walk round, bit of a mooch, back to the cab again. Sat in the cab thinking, I've got to get an early night because I've got to be getting back on this boat in the morning. I got up bright and early. I think it was sailing at 7 o'clock or something. Got myself there for about 6:15. But well, we missed a bit out of the story actually. Some of the locals, when they were having something to eat, were saying that the boat's probably not going to sail tomorrow because of these strong winds and the bad weather. They've sort of put like a severe weather warning out, and I'm sort of like thinking, nah, they're having me on. So we gets back, and I'm watching like TV, news comes on, watch the weather report. The whole of Britain is fine, and then a big red triangle just there on the crossing to Stornoway. I thought, brilliant. Well, there must be some truth in it. Anyway, it gets there, and yeah, there was definitely some truth in it. Gets there, yeah, the boat's cancelled until about 1 o'clock. You can go further down the island, like down towards Lewis, a bit further down, and try and get on the one down there that's going to sail. But you're not guaranteed to get on that, because a lot of people are heading that way. You're guaranteed to get on this if you come back here at 1 o'clock. So anyway, that's what we did. Well, it was sailing at 1 o'clock, so we got back about 12 o'clock, got us on there. Friggin' hell, was it rough. Oh, it was rough, alright. It was going up, banging down. I felt alright for the first like hour or so, had something to eat, and then felt like I was still hungry. Oh no, it wasn't hunger that I felt. It was seasickness. Oh God, was I ill. It wasn't good, believe me, it wasn't good. Driving this day, is it? Yeah, it was a bad crossing. Ended up sort of like heading off into disabled toilets. Don't think they were meant to go up there. I think they're meant to follow me around there. I nearly followed them for a minute, and I'm pretty sure they were heading this way and they took the wrong road, but it sort of confused me for a second there. I almost did the same. It's not the greatest of conjunctions there neither. But yeah, running around trying to find the toilets, they're all shut. Disabled toilet, move, that'll do, straight in there, as you can imagine. Was it a pretty sight? And then sort of like sprawled out. Luckily, with it being that time of year, there were no like foot passengers on really. It was just, there was obviously the cars, a lot of it with the trucks coming back over, so it was pretty dead. So everyone was sort of like sprawled out, on this sofa like, and just tried to sleep. Move, but it's going up and boom, banging down this boat. That was a bad crossing, that. Like I say, I'm not really good, not really got sea legs, but I've never actually been seasick. I've felt rough, but not like that, Jesus. But best thing was, I'd had something to eat and I thought, I still feel hungry. But you can't really feel hungry, so I thought, tell you what, I can feel like I had no energy, like me, and all my energy had just been zapped out of me, so I decided, tell you what I'll do, get a bottle of Lucozade, opens the fridge, to like the horror of the staff in the cafe, because they were just like looking at me as the boat went up in the air, bounced back down, and about 500 fruit shoots come out of the bottom of this fridge and rolled all the way over, and they're going rolling up and down this cafeteria on this boat, and I'm like trying to pick them up, and they're looking at me, beads of sweat, well probably green with beads of sweat pouring off me, and they were looking at me like, yeah, just sit down sir, it's alright, we'll manage. So I had a couple of swigs of this Lucozade and then rapidly realised, hang on a minute, I'm going to be sick. Just wolfed down fish, chips, mushy peas, went hurtling off. Obviously there's other people on this boat feeling the same as me. First set of toilets, no. Second set of toilets, no chance. Third set of toilets, and I'm ashamed of this, people. I'm ashamed of it. There was a lady there with her daughter, and well, none of them looked best word for word really, stood waiting, and I just shot into this. I was literally going to be sick. It was right there. If I hadn't got into this disabled toilet, it was game over. I mean, they wasn't disabled, don't get me wrong, they were just waiting and probably thought, oh no, we can't really go in the disabled. Me, no, I'm having it. Rip the door open, boof, straight in there. Oh, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Fish, chips and mushy peas everywhere, mixed in with Lucozade coming out your nose. Lovely. But yeah, that was this crossing to Stornoway. Done quite a bit of Scotland in my truck. Not been to Wick, never been to Doomray. That's a bit of a bugbear because we used to do it quite often with submarine batteries, and I've never done it, but everyone always said, yeah, but you went to Stornoway, you did the other pools to Stornoway. But Fort William, Aberdeen and Fort William done quite regular. Tip at Aberdeen, across to Fort William, collect out the sawmill, and then down, and that is an amazing road, that coming down from Fort William. Just, oh, it's stunning. The best road I've ever been on, ever. And it's sort of like my favourite job. We don't do it often enough, I'm afraid. Spend most of my life pottering about down the M6, the M1 going into London. Then 90% of me driving, heading down to London or back up away from London, and the rest of the time in London. But when you do get a nice run like that, you know, over to Aberdeen, across to Fort William, it's brilliant. But yeah, that's why I really want to do it on the bike, and hopefully we're going to do it, and if it doesn't happen this year, it'll most certainly happen next year. So I'm 40 this year. I've been thinking about like things to do on my 40th, and I was looking like originally at doing one of these like off-road days in North Wales, over like towards like the Bracker Beacons, that type of thing. Most of the morning you sort of like riding around the trails, and then in the afternoon you sort of like take your skills onto a purpose-built sort of like motocross track, where they sort of like learn you a bit more. I used to do a bit of off-roading, you see, in my younger days. So something I'd like to do, because if I took to it, then maybe something I wouldn't mind looking at and getting into, and maybe trying to get a cheap sort of like enduro bike sometime in the future. Obviously, again, when I'm not working all the time, which will be sometime next year. I'll still be working, but financially I'll be a bit better off. My missus will be working, my youngest lad will be at school, and like I say, I'll have a little bit more free time, which is always good. So it'll be nice, you know, maybe during winter and shit to do a bit of that, bit of off-roading somewhere. So yeah, I thought about that, and then I thought, well, yeah, it'd be good, I'll enjoy it, but it'd be me sort of like on my own, because my short ass mates who ride won't be, they're not really built for it. I'm not really into it as well, so. And obviously then there's the mate, you know, your mates that don't ride. So then obviously you think about all the other stuff, do a bit of paintball and go and do this, go and do that. But I think really I've just settled for doing this Scotland trip with my mate there. It'll be after my birthday. I think I'm going to get a GoPro as well. This camera's shite. Even though it weren't cheap, it's probably as crap as one of them bleeding 20 quid things you can pick up out at a petrol station or something. I mean, a couple of years ago when I got this for like maybe my 37th birthday or something, and never really used it, but at the time, it might have been 38, it's a 4K supposedly. But yeah, I just think it's cheap. It was about 70 quid, I think. If you've watched my videos, you would have heard me ramble on about it before anyway, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I got it as a birthday gift anyway, and wasn't really intended to use it on my bike, on this bike anyway. I was intended to use it more on my mountain bike, and then obviously I got a motorbike again, started using it on this. But yeah, what a GoPro. Nothing too. They do that new one, don't they? It's what's it called? The GoPro. Yeah. GoPro Hero, that's it. The GoPro Hero 2018. It's not bad, it's not brilliant. It's sort of like the budget GoPro camera. Comes in the same case that the what's it, Hero 6 Black Edition comes in. So like straight out of the box, it's pretty robust, waterproof and all that. So that'll be alright, gonna use that. Gonna use that for the Scotland trip, which will be better than this. They sort of get a better mic set up as well. But then you get a mic sort of like plugged directly into that, where I'm doing this with a mic plugged into my phone, because there's no mic option for. There's like I did try and do that. It worked, but you could hear sort of like a buzzing sound all the time. Where you take the external mic, remove the external mic, drill and hole, obviously strip the camera down, drill and hole on the casing, put a 3.5 jack plug on it, solder the wires to the wires that were on the external mic, and then obviously plug in well, it's an internal mic, innit? And then plug in an external mic, and it worked. But whether I don't know, whether it was just a crappy connection. You know, it's such tiny wires to try and solder. It weren't great. Like I say, it was just quite noisy, hissy. So I got rid of it. I'll just do it this way instead. Which it picks up good sound. Well, it did on my last one anyway with this mic. But then you're editing it all together and faffing about. So hopefully, surface. And now we're actually resurfacing something. Yeah, we have done quite a big stretch, haven't we? Hey, look at this, Steve. Smooth tarmac. Just as it drops down to the 30. Smooth tarmac, that is. Smooth tarmac, bloody hell. Have they resurfaced it, or have they just chucked that stuff over the top? Look like they've resurfaced it, because it's quite, I mean there it's actually touching the same height as curve there, so they've definitely put, it's more than just chucking that shaley stuff down on top. They've resurfaced it, haven't they? Done a decent job. Done a decent job of that. Oh, and this bit. But they've left that corner in there because it's like that different tarmac, isn't it? That sticky stuff. Stop your sliding. Well, they have done quite a bit. At least they're doing something. I've noticed that though, them bumping up and down there, so they have just put a fitting surface on top because they'd left them bits exposed for the bus stop, so they don't have to redo them. Nice little shop that, Steve, if you're ever passing. I know you get along this way, or anyone that's ever passing. It's on a can of pop and a pasty or a pie or even a little barm cake, a little sandwich. Nice little shop. Not extortionate, it's have a car's pasty and a bottle of water, a can of pop. But telling you about Wish, oh I was telling you about Wish on that other, what's it, weren't I? On the other upload with no volume. Yeah, I've used Wish, I don't know, wish.com, is it just Wish? Sort of like a Chinese version of eBay, isn't it? Or mainly Chinese tap, but I mean I'm saying it's Chinese tap, most of the stuff on eBay is Chinese tap, but it's good Chinese tap, a lot of it. I suppose you've got to pick out the shitey stuff, because there will be a lot of shite as well, but some decent stuff. But yeah, I got some body armour for my lad. I've got him like a little electric revvy motorbike thing, and he's had a bit of a fall off it twice, and both times he's like banged his chest on something around the handlebar area. I mean, it has got a pad on it, handlebar pad, but the switch is like where you fill a cap would be on a normal bike. That's like where the switch is for it, which is in a bit of a unusual place, considering, like you say, you know, if you hit something you're sort of falling forward on the bike. And then there's obviously the the handlebar raisers where it bolts on, where most motorcycles are like sort of flush, they're not, they're sticking up. So I'm going to try and get a pad for that, but I've got him some body armour off that Wish. Just see what it's like. Got myself a pair of gloves as well, because I was saying about my retro jacket, was I saying it on this vlog or the other vlog? Jesus, getting confusing this, and I probably said it on this one, but I got a retro leather, like retro TT jacket. Yeah, I did say it on this one. So I've got some sort of gloves to go with it, because these ones won't really go with it. And my other leather, black leather ones are winter gloves, so I thought I'd get some gloves off there. They were about 11 quid. You pay a little bit of that on there and then postage, so I think they went up to 15 quid. But there's also a promo code. There's a lot of promo codes doing the rounds, but the first one I tried worked, and I've tried it since. It said you've already used this promo code. but it was just a test to see if you could keep using it, but you can't, you can only use it once. And then there's other ones, but they're like for your first initial. So if you do use it, use one of the ones where it's like your first purchase and you get like up to 50% off whatever you buy for your first purchase, and then use the other one if you purchase anything else again, because that's for just for anything, but you can only use it once. So yeah, I got that, got him his body armour. So I got body armour for my lad, full chest, back and like shoulder protection. I got my gloves, which are really nice. They look really nice. I know you could get perforated ones or non-perforated. I opted for the non-perforated because they might actually be alright in winter, just to see what they're like. What else did we get? Got some little toys for my daughter, little squishy things. What they're called, squishies. Got two of them. I got an exhaust bung, obviously, like for when you're washing the bike or storing it or whatever you're doing. Got one of them, and a slingshot, or a poggy as we used to go. That's the proper name, poggy for them, but a slingshot, because you know you always need a slingshot, don't you? But no, I thought I'd have a go with it. Let my lad have a go with it. Probably have no windows left at the house if I let him have a go with it though. And that, I can't remember what it come to initially, but then I put the code in and it will all come to, I don't know, about 36 quid with the postage. It's all coming from China. I thought I'd give it a whirl. I have used it before. A couple of years ago I used it for a couple of presents at Christmas time for my mum, because she likes quite unusual sort of like ornaments, like wacky backy smell. It does smell nice, but I don't think it's this guy sparking up at bus stop, is it? No, it's a normal cig. Yeah, mum likes like unusual type of like ornaments and bits of trinkets and stuff like that, elephants and stuff, sort of like Indian themed type things. So I bought her a couple of things off there and they came and they were brilliant. Mum loved them and they were decent quality, so I thought I'll give it a go, because it's cheaper than eBay. I think a lot of the stuff eBay sellers buy and sell on eBay, because my mate got a few bits for his bike, like bike accessories, really good for bike accessories. What they'll be like, I don't know, but you know, like levers, frame sliders, you know, like swing arm bobbins, and you know, crash bungs, bar ends, you know, mirrors, all sorts of little accessories like that. I mean, they've got a lot more stuff than that, but I'm just sort of like going through them. You know, all different colours, styling your bike. Just you get the same ones on eBay, and you might be 25 quid for a bobbin, for a set of swing arm bobbins. But on there, 7 quid. I mean, you got to put your VAT on there and you got to put your postage. I think there were 14 quid my mate paid for them, obviously, and he used that discount code, so he would have got a bit more off. He added a few more bits onto it. But the other thing is, he got some panniers. He's got a Kawasaki Vulcan S, and he got some leather panniers from Germany. Really nice, quite big panniers. And he paid 130 quid, and there was a set on there for 50 quid. Now they look good quality. People that have ordered them, because also people like sort of take a picture of them when they've got them to sort of like show, look, I've got these. It could be in Britain, America, anywhere, obviously, whoever's ordered them, and take a picture, put it on, yeah, really good quality, putting them on the bike, blah blah blah. And the people that I've read the reviews on that have had these panniers were like singing the praises. So there's no way they were like the ones that he's got now on his bike, which are nice panniers, don't get me wrong. They're probably not £80 worth more than what these ones are on Wish. Not a chance. They had the universal, like sort of like hard, like this sort of material that I've got on my jibby tank bag. You know, it's like sort of hard, but it's soft. Well, not soft, but it's stiff, but it's sort of like not classed as like hard luggage, is it? Like your plastic hard luggage, but it's not like your soft bag type luggage. Somewhere in between. They had panniers like that, 20 odd quid. Universal ones, like 15 litres each. You're just fucking, you're like, really? You just look really good quality. Whether they are when you get them, I don't know. They even do the exact same jibby tank bag with the monolock. Or is it the monolock? It's not the monolock. The tank lock system. You get the tank lock plate with it. The bag, 60 quid. I mean, I got this second hand and probably paid around that with everything. And obviously it's the proper jibby one. But new, you know, I don't know. I think it's about 100 odd quid. This new. And it looks exactly the same. It just looks exactly the same, and people have commented and say no different. And instead of having it in jibby on that silver plate, it's got another name. But a lot of this stuff, well, I think this is Italian, isn't it? Jibby, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of the stuff is probably made in China. And yeah, there might be like rip-offs of it, all this Chinese stuff. But a lot of it is made with the same materials, the same moulds. You know, it's the same stuff. But anyway, we'll see what the quality is like of this stuff. Because there were some like levers, the ones that, I mean, these are good levers. But sort of, eventually when I fit my front disc, because they're gold, and I was looking at a Renfield chain and sprocket, which is going to be gold, I thought, well, should I get like gold bobbins and maybe gold bar ends and maybe gold levers? And I do like the, I mean, I know this is like it's grey, not black. I mean, majority of the bag is black and grey paintwork, but I do like the black and gold. I like the Triumphs, that black and gold theme. It looks nice, it really does. Or is it just going to look tacky? We will see. But like I say, I'll have a look at the quality of the stuff when it turns up. But the price is a lot cheaper than eBay, a lot cheaper. Wish it's called. Either download the app, or I mean, I did it off the app, but I presume they've got the website. The other thing is with the app, every time you log on, if you log on every day, so you do it like 6 days in a row, you get like more discount. There's another weird feature as well where it'll say like Jonathan is buying this item as well, save money by buying this item with Jonathan, so you must save the postage. Let's say it's like £5 postage, it must somehow like sort of like share the postage. I don't know how it works, because you know, is it going to land at my doorstep and then I've got to forward his on, which is going to cost more postage, or have they got like somebody over here who's going to sort the package out, or I don't know. But I've not really looked into it. I'll have to speak to a mate who uses it quite a bit. But yeah, it'll come up at the bottom when you can either click to just buy, or you can click to like buy, and it'll have somebody's name, like buy with Jonathan, buy with Ian, or whatever. And you buy the item and then save on postage. And then there's other stuff in there. Say, you know, you put it in your basket and it'll start like an hour clock, like a countdown, and you'll save. Might only be like 90p if you do go through and sort of like buy it in that first hour you put it into your basket. But you know what I mean, every pound's a prisoner, isn't it? Sometimes make a saving on it, because at the end of the day you're getting it cheaper than you get it off eBay anyway. And then if you can save a bit on your postage, if you save a couple of quid on your postage, save another 90, so you get another like 3 quid off it, and you're only paying 8 or 9 quid for it anyway, and it's worth the risk of getting it, innit? Because you are buying a lot of Chinese tat when you're buying off eBay anyway.